And a very pleasant good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Baseball. The Skyline Conference home opener for the Hornets is a beautiful sunny day as they take on the Skyline Conference rival, the other top dog, the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Both teams enter with a 2-0 conference mark. Hidden Valley with one more overall win than Henley entering play, with a 7-2 record compared, of course, to Henley's then 6-2 record. But these two teams have had this day circled on their calendar, and for the Mustangs, you can certainly guarantee that as, Henley dished them the season sweep a year ago en route to an undefeated Skyline Conference champion. Hidden Valley looking to rewrite that today with a Game 1 series win against Henley. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the history between the two squads. We'll also introduce you to the Kyle's Lawn Care starting lineups. That's all coming up next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
And now for the Kyle's Lawn Care starting 9, and we'll begin with the visiting team today, the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Leading off and at shortstop today is Wiley Mendez. Batting second at center field is Caden Cooner. Jack Matthew is pitching at batting third. Elijah Zauer at second base, hitting cleanup for Hidden Valley. Mauricio Mendez is at first base, batting fifth, followed by the catcher, Logan Law, batting sixth. Hitting seventh is Hunter Gillette, the third baseman, followed by the left fielder, Landon Nash, and Lawson O'Leary will round out the starting lineup for Hidden Valley. Turn the page over, and the starting 9 for Henley goes like this. Connor Shively leads off and is at shortstop. Mark Carpenter, the starting pitcher, bats second. Max Price is at third base, hitting third, followed by Jacoby Takini, catching and batting cleanup. The designated hitter, Bo Pyle, hits fifth, followed by Corbin Hamilton, the first baseman, batting sixth. Hitting seventh, Carson Pimley in right field. Carson Sims is at second base. And batting ninth is Ryan Douglas. Those are your starters for the Henley Hornets. And as we take a look at the history between these two ball clubs, boy, oh boy, is there plenty of it. But just the recent history, go back to a season ago when Henley was the Skyline Conference champions, 16-0, handing Hidden Valley their only 4 losses in league play. It was over at Hidden Valley, where Henley took 2 games, 13-2 and 7-4. But the games that were played here at Rosser Field much closer. A doubleheader on May 11th last year saw Henley beat Hidden Valley 4-2. and 3-0. And so certainly expecting a competitive game today, as has been for the better part of a decade between these two Skyline Conference opponents. It seems like Henley has always been in the way of Hidden Valley claiming their stake atop the Skyline Conference. And, well, last year no different. Hornets hoping for more of the same this season as they take the field. And like I said, on the mound for Henley is going to be Mark Carpenter. And we'll take a quick look at Carpenter's stats on the season so far. The reigning 4A Player of the Year, not only doing it at the dish this season. For Carpenter, this will be his third start of the year, his fourth overall appearance. He's got 16 innings pitched. He's 2-0 in that time with an ERA of 0. Yes, he has yet to give up a run this season. He is leading the conference in that metric, of course, having without a run. So Hidden Valley, of course, looking to break that streak today. While we have a quick minute ahead of first pitch, want to take a look at a couple of other games going on around the Klamath Basin today. First, mentioning that Henley softball is going on right behind us. That game is also being broadcast on mybasin.com. We'll give you score updates from the softball diamond throughout this broadcast today. But also, as far as baseball goes, Klamath Union playing Madras in a doubleheader today. Believe, they're just getting started with their first game. As we take a look and check the score there, Klamath Union is leading 4-3 over Madras, going to the bottom of the fourth inning. Lost River and Bonanza are playing today. Lost River collecting a win in the opener, 10-0, and already up big time over the Antlers in the second game of a doubleheader in Bonanza. Top of the fourth inning, Lost River leading 17-0. So we'll keep you updated on a handful of those other scores as we move throughout today's broadcast, but definitely excited for this one ahead of us between Hidden Valley and Henley. And even though the Hornets at home today electing to go with the gray pants and the navy blue tops with Henley written across their chest, navy blue lettering, yellow trim, and, of course, the navy blue hats. And for Hidden Valley today, also gray pants, they're being the road team. Blue jerseys, Mustangs, Hidden Valley written across their chest in orange, orange numbers across their back, and white trim. And we are nearly ready today. Jacoby Takini, the other half of the battery for Henley, getting ready to throw down and get this game started. Ahead of first pitch, want to remind you today's broadcast brought to you in part by Gino's Cafe on East Main Street. They're open every morning at 6:30, serving their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online or go to iloveginos.com. And Gino's just the other day, a little crispy Cajun ranch wrap with chicken was pretty darn good over on East Main Street. Looks like we are about ready for first pitch as the Hidden Valley leadoff hitter, Wiley Mendez, steps in against Mark Carpenter. Carpenter looking in, getting the sign from Takini. And our first pitch underway. High heat from Carpenter, misses the zone. 1-0, 457 here in the Klamath Basin. And a beautiful day. Hardly any wind to speak of right now. It was blowing earlier. 64 degrees at first pitch. 1-0 on the way from Mark Carpenter. An off-speed pitch found the zone. Evens the count. A ball and a strike. Mendez, the leading hitter for Hidden Valley this season, batting 545 on the year. Hits a bouncing ball out towards second. Carson Sims up with it. Throw on to first is in time, and there's one away in the top of the first. Going around the diamond for Henley, we mentioned Jacoby Takini, the catcher, out there with Mark Carpenter on the hill. At third base, it's Max Price. Connor Shively is at short. Carson Sims is at second base with Corbin Hamilton at first. Glidden is in left, Douglas in center, and Pimley in right. Stepping in now is Caden Coonard with one away in the top of the first inning. Two-seam fastball from Carpenter gracing the outside at an 0-1 count. Looking at Coonard this year, batting .308 for Hidden Valley. Left-hander's got a low batting stance. Gets a piece of this one. Sends it in the air to shortstop. It was off a hop, but Shively playing it well and throwing on to Hamilton in time for the second out. Couple of quick outs for Carpenter here in the top of the first, and that brings us to Jack Matthew. Matthew, the starting pitcher today, getting a look at the plate before he gets out there, batting third in the order for Hidden Valley. 267 hitter for the Mustangs in 17 plate appearances. Hugging the plate as Carpenter delivers. Oh, looks like he wasn't out at first, as a matter of fact. He's aboard there. And so we'll see if that was an error. Didn't quite see it. Looked like he had made the play over there at first, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So runner aboard at first, one out, as the first pitch to Matthew is on its way. To be an off-speed pitch, dipped below the knees, 1-0. After Matthew in the order, it's Elijah Zauer. So it looks like Kunert just beat out that ball to first. So give him an infield single on that play. Aboard there, Hidden Valley's first hit. And the pitch, 1-0 on its way to Matthew, but not before Carpenter steps off. Out of the stretch now is Carpenter. Kicks and delivers. On the move to second is Kunert. Throw down from Takini is high, and in safely at second is Caden Kunert. Now a runner in scoring position for the middle of the Hidden Valley order. And I believe that pitch missed the zone as well. 2-0 the count to Matthew. Matthew with 3 RBI on the season so far. The team leader in that metric is Logan Law and Elijah Zauer, who's on deck, and they both have 7. The 2-0 the count on its way to Jack Matthews. Carpenter comes set. Shively, the shortstop, holding the runner at second, returns to his normal position as the slider from Carpenter found the zone. Count now 2 balls and a strike. Modest leadoff is second there for Kunert. Now Sims, the second baseman, taking his turn, staying close to the second base bag as Carpenter looks in for the sign. Carpenter looks the runner back, now delivers. Here's the pitch. It is a strike fastball on the outside. Good location there for Carpenter. Evens the count 2-2. Carpenter certainly a strikeout pitcher. He throws hard, so if you run into it, it might go a long way, but he places the ball around the zone and mixes his pitches so well that oftentimes teams unable to do that. Here he comes with the 2-2, an off-speed pitch. Got him looking. Matthew sent packing on the outside, breaking ball. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Runner remains in scoring position for, again, the team leader in RBI, Elijah Zauer. There's that strikeout mentality of Carpenter, just the breaking off of the curveball outside. And credit to Jacoby Takini as well, the freshman catcher, framing that one up nicely for the home plate umpire to punch out Jack Matthew. Now in is Elijah Zauer. Carpenter set from the stretch and delivers. Fastball popped foul in on the hands of Zauer. And along with being the team leader in RBI, Zauer is also batting .500 on the season. Though a fairly small sample size, he's 3 of 6. But he does walk quite a bit, gets on base 66% of the time. Here he's behind at the count, 0-1. Carpenter set and delivers the pitch. Looked to be the changeup, found the outside, 0-2. On deck for Hidden Valley, waiting for his chances, Mauricio Mendez. Carpenter heading the count. He can play around a little bit here in an 0-2. Don't want to serve up Zauer something to hit. He can take advantage of that. 0-2 on the way from Carpenter, and the fastball misses wide. Count a ball and 2 strikes. Maybe a little bit upstairs as well for Zauer. Carpenter shakes off the first pitch, now decides with Takini. Here comes the 1-2. Looked to be another pitch missing low and away, and evens the count now 2-2. Credit to Zauer laying off a couple of tough pitches on the outside, and a 2-strike count. Want to defend that, but able to lay off those pitches. Carpenter may have to come inside the zone here on a 2-2. Mark taking his time. Pitch on its way. Off-speed pitch, froze up Zauer again, that time going inside with the curveball and ending the inning. One base hit for Hidden Valley, but they can't score it, leaving one stranded as we go to the bottom of the first scoreless on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Getting ready for the bottom of the first inning. Mark Carpenter able to get out of that first without allowing a Hidden Valley run. Now it's the Hornets lineup. Chance to take a crack at Jack Matthew, southpaw for Hidden Valley. This is his third start of the season. He's pitched 12 innings previously, 2-0 in those two previous starts, and an ERA of .583. So a dominant arm for certain for Hidden Valley. A year ago, part of those couple of really good games that were played here at Henley High School a season ago. Leading off for Henley is going to be Connor Shively. So a little lefty versus lefty action at the top of the Henley order. And here we go. First pitch from Matthew comes in high and tight against Shively, and he is ahead in the count now 1-0. Matthew with the 1-0 on the way to Shively. And that one fouled off. Count a ball and a strike to Shively. Looking at him on the season, batting .312 to start the year. 9 of his 10 hits have been singles, and he's come around to score a boatload, leading the team in runs scored with 15 at the top of the order. Fights off another pitch there. Count a ball and 2 strikes. So Shively, Carpenter, Price, Takini, Pyle, Hamilton, Pimley, Sims, and Douglas. The starting 9 for Henley today. And the delivery from Matthew, elevated fastball. Shively chases for strike 3. And in comes Mark Carpenter. Carpenter batting .500 on the season, picking up right where he left off a season ago as the 4A Player of the Year. OPS of over 1,300. A home run already this season. 8 doubles for Carpenter and a wide team leader in that margin. Takes a big hack and a low fastball and swings through it. Count 0-1. Couple of RBI last time out for Carpenter. Here he hits one on a line over the third baseman's head and into left field. And a one-out single this time for Carpenter. So Hornets look to strike first in this Skyline Conference affair. This brings up Max Price, making an anticipated return to the lineup. Has missed 5 games this year, dating back to the Newport tournament. The Hornets were sure missing him. They were able to collect wins without him, but you always like to have another guy who hits 500 in your order, and Max Price is certainly that guy, hitting exactly 500 through the first 4 games of his season. Fastball misses high and away, trying to backdoor Carpenter at first to no avail, and a 1-0 count to Max Price. Now Carpenter has to be a little careful on first with the left-hander Matthew, and there it is, the high leg kick, and you can still move to first as long as he doesn't cross his body with that knee. It's not a balk, and so he's able to hang it up there and make Carpenter hesitate if there's any action on the base paths. A wide batting stance for Max Price at the plate as he awaits the 1-0 count. Here it comes. It's hit out. Slow roller to second base. Charging in is Zauer. The throw to first is in time, but advancing to second is Mark Carpenter. So Henley with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs for their cleanup hitter, Jacoby Tacchini. It's a tough play for Zauer to make, running in and then having to make a throw over to first. Go around the defense for Hidden Valley. Zauer at second. Well, joining him in the infield is Gillette at third. Mendez at short. And Mendez with a Z at first. Nash in left, Kunert in center, and O'Leary in right. Here's Jacoby Tacchini stepping in now. Tacchini leading the team in RBI to start the year. 18 runs batted in, and an opportunity here with 2 away, and Mark Carpenter at second. Matthew set with the first pitch. Here it comes. Pitch misses down and in, blocked by the catcher Logan Law. Hard work back there for Law. We've seen it for a couple seasons now for that young man. Doesn't let too much get by him. So Carpenter going to have a real good read if he wants to try to swipe third on a ball in the dirt. Right now the count 1-0 to Jacoby Tacchini. Matthew shakes off Law on the first offering. Now he comes set. Pitch on its way from Matthew. No, he's going to step off. High leg kick, spins around, watches Carpenter back to second. After Tacchini in the order, it's Bo Pyle. Matthew set. Again, looking at Carpenter. Takes his time with the delivery. Now the pitch. Over the heart of the plate, Tacchini takes it for strike 1. 1-1 the count. Along with leading the team in RBI this season, Tacchini batting .438 and a home run this year already for the freshman. Matthew set. Now delivers the 1-1. High fastball. Tacchini lays off. High fastball. Tacchini, you might have said he would have chased that in the summertime when he played with the Klamath Falls Falcons, but just that summer of having that experience has really grown him as a player and able to lay off that pitch that just looks so good out of the pitcher's hands. And now ahead in the count, 2-1. Matthew's going to step off before he delivers the 2-1. Again, looking Carpenter back to second. And warranted to look Mark back to second. He's stolen 4 bases this year, hasn't been caught once. I don't think he's stealing third with 2 outs. Here's the 2-1 on its way. Breaking pitch, hung in there, broke back into the zone. And that will even the count 2-2. Again, Pyle, the designated hitter, waits his turn in the on-deck circle for Henley. Big hole on the right side of the infield for Tacchini. Definitely not known for his opposite field hitting, much more of a pull hitter. So the second baseman, Zauer, pretty much playing on top of second base. And the first baseman, Mendez, fairly close to the bag on the right side of the infield. Matthew, the 2-2. That one misses, gets to the backstop. Carpenter is going to be into third standing. And Matthew didn't really give Law a chance to catch that one. Was just heat up and away that Law couldn't get up for. And so now a full count with a runner on third for Henley. And a big pitch underway for Jacoby Tacchini. even if you just get on base and extend this inning. They're making Jack Matthew work out there, and that's certainly worth something. Without a doubt, the ace of the Mustangs pitching staff. And Matthew, his pitch count isn't too far up there, but how to rein it in. Up to, this will be pitch number 14 of the first inning. Matthews set, looks Carpenter over at third. Here's the full count pitch home to Tacchini. Looks at strike three called, and that will end the inning. One base hit for Henley, but they can't capitalize. They leave him stranded at third, and we go to the second scoreless on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Getting ready for the top of the second inning here on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Henley baseball continues, and we are scoreless. I want to remind you today's broadcast is brought to you by the Pacific Power Foundation, who donated nearly $70,000 in 2024 to organizations like the Klamath County School District, the Oregon Tech Foundation, and Favell Museum, downtown Klamath Falls. Thanks to the Pacific Power Foundation for coming on board with this season of Henley baseball. Looks like top of the second inning, it'll be Mauricio Mendez to lead things off for Hidden Valley. Right-handed batter, tall first baseman for Hidden Valley. Steps in against Carpenter, waves and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Taking a look at Mendez on the season. Mauricio is the team leader in batting. I thought it was Wiley a little bit earlier. He's a little bit further down, but Mauricio Mendez, team leader in batting. 5:45 to start the season. Here's the 1-1 on its way. Looked like a two-seamer outside, 2-1. Carpenter, again, working from the windup. Nobody on base, still top of the second inning. Mendez chases that pitch outside of the zone. Looked like Carpenter took a little off that one. 2-2. So Mendez, Logan Law, and Hunter Gillette. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the Hidden Valley order due up this inning. Pitch on its way, waved at and missed. First out here in the second inning as Mauricio Mendez goes down on strikes. That's 3 in a row dating back to last inning for Carpenter. And it brings up the Hidden Valley catcher, Logan Law. Law, 308 hitter on the season. 2 singles, 2 doubles for him this year. First pitch on its way from Carpenter. Checks his swing, but it's in the zone anyway, 0-1. Carpenter ready with the 0-1. That one's a similar location, maybe a little bit downstairs. That's called a ball, 1-1. And Law hugging the plate a bit. Carpenter ready with the 1-1. That one's hit hard, center field. Moving over is Douglas, and that one is going to skip off the bottom of the wall. Rounding first, headed for second is Logan Law. He will get in there standing with a 1-out double. That is his third of the season and puts a runner in scoring position for Hidden Valley in the top of the second inning. Just over the head of Ryan Douglas, hit right off the base of the wall. And with that being the catcher, they are going to have a courtesy runner come in for Law. It's going to be Gunnar Johnson, the junior, running out there at second. Stepping in now is Hunter Gillette. Less than favorable start to the season for Hunter so far, batting .111. Here's the first pitch to him. Chases the slider down and away. The count 0-1. After Gillette in the order is Landon Nash. Gillette takes strike two there on the outside. Carpenter staying away from these right-handed bats in the early part of this game will serve him well as the game goes on. 0-2 the count to Gillette. Decent lead off of second for Johnson out there as Carpenter watches him take another step. Now the move home is looked at for strike three. Another fastball found the zone. Now 2 away for Henley, bringing up Landon Nash. Only Nash's third plate appearance coming up. He's only played a couple of games for Hidden Valley this year and still looking for his first base knock of the season. Nash bats from the left side as Carpenter comes set. Here's the pitch. That one over the plate but low, below the knees of Nash, and the count 1-0. Nash, a tall batting stance. The junior stares down Carpenter. And the pitch. That one elevated, but it's there for the strike. 1-1. Carpenter came right over the heart of the plate with that hard fastball. 2 away, top of the second inning, still scoreless. Hidden Valley with runner in scoring position. It's Johnson. Here's the 1-1. That one taken in the dirt. Takini keeps it in front of him, but the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. After Nash in the Hidden Valley order, it's Lawson O'Leary. Carpenter getting the sign in from Takini. Comes set. And the pitch. That one is taken inside over the shoelaces of Nash. Now 3-1. You're going to take advantage if you're Hidden Valley. This is the time. Don't know how many other opportunities you'll get against Carpenter with a hitter's count and a runner in scoring position. We'll see where Mark goes here in a 3-1. The pitch. Off-speed pitch, found the zone on the outer third of the plate. There's a big curveball that started in the right-handed batter's box, but broke back across to find the zone. That takes some confidence to throw that in a 3-1 count. Now it's full for Carpenter. Here's a pitch. Two-seam fastball driven the other way, but Shively moving over it short in the gap to make the catch. And again, a base hit in the inning, but the Mustangs leave them stranded. A double from Logan Law, but we are still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
It starts to warm up outside, it's time to tackle your lawn. And Kyle's Lawn Care is who to contact. Kyle's been doing lawn care in Klamath Falls for over 9 years. He offers a variety of services designed to make your life easier. Kyle's Lawn Care offers weekly mowing jobs, which includes mowing, edging, and blowing off sidewalks, snow removal, big cleanup jobs, dump runs, and more. At Kyle's Lawn Care, they strive to give each job their all and go the extra mile to exceed their customers' expectations. To get an estimate, you can call or text 541-281-3623. Kyle's Lawn Care.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Still scoreless here at beautiful Rosser Field at Henley High School, just a few miles south of downtown Klamath Falls. Thank you for being with us today on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Here in the bottom of the second inning, it's Bo Pyle, Corbin Hamilton, and Carson Pimley to lead things off for Henley. Here's the pitch from Jack Matthew. An elevated fastball misses high, 1-0. And just as we are scoreless here at Rosser Field, across the way at the softball complex, Hidden Valley and Henley over there, still scoreless. And there is a pitch that misses, 2-0. Pyle, designated hitter today, likes to stay in the lineup even when he's not on the mound. They can definitely use his bat. Here's the 2-0. That one's looked at, no doubt, strike one. And for Pyle this year, batting .353 on the season. Had two doubles and a triple last time out against Mazama. That was an 18-2 victory for Henley back on Tuesday. Off-speed pitch, pulls it into left field. That'll be down for a base hit and bounces over the left fielder's head. That's going to roll to the wall. Pyle digging for two, and he'll get in standing. And a leadoff double for Bo Pyle. How about another extra base hit? And that has Henley in business in the bottom of the second. Hit that hard to left field. Nash running towards the ball. Took a wicked hop in the outfield. Bounced over his head into the wall. And now Hamilton bats with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. Corbin batting .289 this season. He's got 8 runs batted in. That is tied for third on the team. First pitch to Hamilton. High fastball misses. 1-0. Sun's coming out here at Henley High School. It's a little bit cloudy earlier. It was windy for a moment, and now it's sunny again. You know what they say. City of sunshine, but wait 5 minutes, the weather will turn. Matthew comes set with the 1-0. Healthy lead off a second for Pyle. And the pitch. That one, a two-seam fastball, started in on the hands of Hamilton, but broke back into the plate and into the zone, a ball and a strike. And that's one of the things about Matthew being a left-handed pitcher. Don't often see those left-handed pitchers for Henley. There's not a lot of them to go around, so picking up the difference between a 2- and a 4-seam fastball or the difference between a curveball and a slider, just a little bit different. 1-1 on its way. No, we'll have to wait again as as Matthew goes and steps off. Matthew set once more with the 1-1. Curveball, this one a high chopper out towards the mound. Matthew comes in on it. Throw to first is going to be in time, but advancing to third is Bo Pyle. One away, runner 90 feet away from scoring, and in steps Carson Pimley. Pimley this season batting .367. 5 RBIs. All he's got to do is put a ball in play here. Hope the Pyle has a good read on it to break our scoreless tie. First pitch way out of the zone. Took a wicked bounce off the backstop and rolled back out to the mound. It's a 1-0 count. So Pimley and then Sims waits on deck for Henley. It's a 1-0 count to Pimley. Matthew kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed by Pimley. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Coach Teeters, third base coach and head coach of Henley, trying to encourage Pimley, maybe choke up a little bit on that bat. Just put that ball in play. Doesn't have to be a ton behind it. Give Pyle a chance to score. First base coach and groundskeeper here at Henley is Marvin Rosser. Here's the 1-1 home. Swung on and missed. 2-1. And both teams with some real great experience with assistant coaches in the dugout. Of course, we talk about Joe Tacchini and Pete Whistler and Craig Connor for Henley. And can't forget Mike Reese in the dugout for Hidden Valley. An assistant coach, helped Hidden Valley to a state championship a few years ago and was an American Legion baseball coach for many seasons in Grants Pass. Count now 2-2. Coach the Grants Pass Nuggets, coach the Grants Pass Cavemen, and of course now with the Hidden Valley Mustangs as an assistant. And their head coach, Justin Spinner, been there for, I believe, 3 seasons now. Another high pitch, this one 3-2. And again, Sims waits on deck, but a big pitch on the way is Matthew. Comes with the 3-2. It is swung on and missed. Pimley down on strikes. Now 2 outs in the inning. Brings up Carson Sims with a runner on third and 2 outs. Sims has been playing well as of late. Third on the team in hitting, batting .480 to start the year. 3 doubles and added a double last time out against Mazama. Again, that 18-2 victory for Henley, which improved him to 2-0 in league play. First pitch to Sims, upstairs, misses, 1-0. Sims just a sophomore, but a remarkable start to this year. Without having much playing time as a freshman, has stepped up and, well, like I said, third on the team in batting. Did he chase a pitch upstairs? Did he go? Oh, he did not. Sims, again, that high fastball, really easy to chase and out of a left-hander's hand, hard to pick it up, but Carson able to check his swing in time, and the count moves to 2-0. Matthew looking in for the sign, shakes off Law on the first option, now decides what he's going to go with on the 2-0. Here it comes. Off speed, but still missing high, 3-0. 2 away in the inning, and Ryan Douglas waits on deck. First run of the ball game, 90 feet away from scoring at third. Bo Pyle, a leadoff double. And the Hornets looking to cash in. Here's the 3-0. That one finds the outer third. And the count now 3-1. Sims been able to see the ball good this year, on base percentage of .576, so he's okay with taking some pitches. 7 RBI for him on the season. That time he chases the outside fastball. Was in a similar spot, would have been a strike, but comes up empty, and the count runs full. Sims, the right-handed batter, steps back into the box. Full count offering underway. That one's popped up in the infield. First baseman Mendez calling everybody off, has room to make the catch and end the inning. A leadoff double, but the Hornets come up empty as we will go to the third inning scoreless on 104.3 and 960 Sports and free live video on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
At At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media.
The information of 24-hour news.
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Getting ready for the top of the third inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and live free video today on mybasin.com, as we are for every Skyline Conference game for the Hornets this season and into the playoffs. Opponent today, Hidden Valley, two teams at the top of their game in the Skyline Conference, and we're still scoreless. Getting started in the top of the third, first pitch swinging for Lawson O'Leary, a ground ball out to short. Shively backhands it. Throw on to first is in time. And a nice pick out of the dirt for Corbin Hamilton as well. And one pitch and one out in the top of the third inning as the Hidden Valley lineup turns over for Wiley Mendez. Mendez 0 for 1 today, grounded out in the first inning. Here's the first pitch to him. Carpenter goes off speed, 0-1. Mendez, 267 hitter this year. Pitch fouled off the right side, 0-2. Both teams have had runners in scoring position in each of the first two innings. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. The breaking ball had Mendez out in front for strike three. He goes down, and it brings up Caden Cooner. Now 5 strikeouts for Carpenter on the game. The left-hander Cooner is 1 for 1 today, singled in the first inning. And then was left stranded at second base after recording a steal. Here's the pitch. Ground ball out towards second. Sims bobbles it and unable to make the play at first. And Caden Coonert reaches on the air, bringing up Jack Matthew. Sims had come up with it, and on the transfer from the glove to his hand, just bobbled it in front of him and unable to recover in time to make the play. So there's your error, and runner aboard at first. And here's Jack Matthew. Matthew 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the first inning. And Carpenter, who feels like he probably should be out of this inning, looking to end things here against Matthew. Here's the pitch. That one low in the dirt, ball 1. Now for Mark Carpenter, let's see how he's grown as a player in situations like this. As a junior, oftentimes wore his emotions on his sleeve, was very expressive out there. But now in a situation where he's got to regain his composure. Here's the 1-0. Carpenter will step off before delivering the 1-0 pitch. After Matthew in the order is Elijah Sauer. Small lead off of first. Carpenter checks him anyway. Back safely is Caden Coonert. Carpenter set out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. That one's low as well. Takini dropping to his knees, keeping it in front of him. The count 2-0. From Carpenter. That one again missing low. 3-0. And Jack Matthew, guy you give a pitch to hit, he could punish you. 267 hitter on the season. No extra base hits, though, and 2 RBI. See where Carpenter decides to go in a 3-0 count. He's missed low in each of the first 3 pitches. Here it comes from Carpenter. That one finds the inner third. But maybe like a circle change or a two-seam fastball for Carpenter there, breaking back towards the right-handed hitting Matthew, but still stayed in the zone as Carpenter tries to battle back, now in a 3-1 count. Moves over to first again. Kunert back safely. And looking at Kunert on the season, he's stolen one base and been caught once. And another move over to first. And back safely again is Kunert. He's not taking a very big lead over there. Carpenter has continued to look his way. Now the 3-1. Carpenter set, moves. Kunert on the move. Bouncing ball out towards second. Sims charging. It gets under his glove and into right field. Now moving to third. The throw to get to third is wild. But diving back and safely in at third is Caden Kunert. Staying at first is Jack Matthew. And a hit and run executed by the Mustangs to perfection. Sims, the second baseman, moves over to cover the bag. And, well, where he was playing is right where the ball was hit. You really can't draw it up any better for Hidden Valley as they put runners at the corners for their cleanup hitter, Elijah Zauer. Zauer 0 for 1 today, struck out his first time up. And Max Price, believe that's Price, could be a little banged up over there at third. Ball was thrown over his head from Pimley and right. It got to the Hidden Valley dugout. And at that point, Kunert thought about scoring from third, had to scramble back to the bag, and Price dove into him to try to make the tag. We'll take a break as he's tended to out there. We'll leave you in a situation in the top of the third inning with 2 outs and runners at the corners for Hidden Valley in a scoreless ball game. We'll be back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Max Price remaining in the game at third, showing some grit there. And I just got back to the starting lineup. You guys won't get rid of me that quickly. So he'll stay in the game. So we come back into a situation in the top of the third inning in which Hidden Valley has runners at the corners. That was scored an error on Sims at second. So we'll say Matthew is aboard at first, Kunert at third, and Elijah Zauer will step in as Zauer is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Zauer is tied for the team lead in RBI with 6 on the season. Again, Hidden Valley looking to convert on the opportunity that has been presented to them after back-to-back 2-out errors. Here's the pitch. It is looked at for strike 1. See if they decide to put Matthew in motion over there at first. He's only stolen 1 base this season in 1 attempt. 0-1, Carpenter ready for the pitch and delivers. That one is popped, out of play, foul. And the count moves now to 0-2. On deck is Mauricio Mendez. He'll hope for an opportunity if the Mustangs can continue this inning. Carpenter looking to slam the door, as now Coach DeKinney coming out of the dugout. And a time for us to remind you here on mybasin.com that our broadcasts of Henley baseball brought to you in part by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Also, by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. As the conference on the mound is concluded, it's an 0-2 count to Elijah Zauer. And again, runners at the corners. Matthew at first, Kunert at third, and 2 away in the inning. Top of the third, still scoreless. Carpenter set, trying to escape this inning. Here's a pitch. Got him looking. Carpenter gets out of the third and leaves this one scoreless. We are heading to the bottom half next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Getting ready for the bottom of the third inning in a scoreless ball game between the visiting Hidden Valley Mustangs and the home team, the Henley Hornets, from beautiful green Rosser Field here at Henley High School. And one of my favorite things about these Henley home games is, well, of course, being home is part of it, but when the visiting fans come to the ballpark from Hidden Valley today, just mention how beautiful this field is. And I would make a case that it's maybe the best field in Oregon, regardless of classification. And all the credit there goes to one of the Henley assistant coaches, Marvin Rosser, who takes care of the field. The field carries his namesake, and just had a really beautiful ballpark to come to every day for Henley. As Ryan Douglas steps into the box, it's Douglas, Shively, and Carpenter to get things started in the bottom of the third. First pitch wound up behind Douglas. And now he awaits the 1-0 on its way from Matthew, offers up at that one and fouls it off, and the count 1-1. One to Douglas is a two-seamer running away from the right-hander. He swings and misses at it. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. Douglas lifts one. Shallow center field. Second baseman Zauer goes back for it. Called off by the center fielder Kunert, and he will make the catch for the first out. So now the Henley lineup card turns over. It's Connor Shively, who is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out in the bottom of the first inning. Looking to get a rally started for the Hornets against Jack Matthew. Here's the first pitch. Checks his swing on a pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Hornets lineup gets more and more dangerous the longer you're out there. We'll see how their approach has changed this second time through the order. And even in their 18-2 win against Mazama earlier in the week, it wasn't until the second time around that Henley actually got their first hit. Pitches high and in to Shively, 3-0. And they went through the entire lineup one time without recording a base hit, but at the same time they scored 6 runs. And finally, once the lineup turned over, they were able to start knocking the ball around, but it's when they become dangerous. Here's the 3-0. That one's taken over the heart of the plate for a strike, 3-1. Henley just continued to add on runs in that game. It felt like the offense was endless. Here's the 3-1. That one misses down and in. Shively aboard at first on a one-out walk, bringing up Mark Carpenter. First walk issued by either pitcher, and it comes here in the bottom of the third inning. That's how you know these guys are on top of their stuff. Mark Carpenter, along with being 1 for 1 today, also the starting pitcher for Henley, so looking to help out his own cause here, was able to dance out of quite the jam in that last inning. Got 2 quick outs, but back-to-back errors put him with runners at the corners, was able to grit his teeth and strike out the batter. And a really nice job by Carpenter to stick with the process and get out of that inning without allowing it to get away from him when it very easily could have. After Matthew made the move over to first, now he comes set once more, and, well, he'll make another move over to first. He's worried about Connor Shively, and for good reason. Shively, he can definitely swipe a base on you. In fact, he is leading the team in stolen bases right now with 9 on the season. Not a huge lead to speak of over there as Matthew finally delivers home and misses inside to Carpenter. 1-0. Henley is actually quite a few stolen bases this season. Through their first 9 games, 34 stolen bags. .1-0 on its way from Matthew. An outside pitch misses. Trying to backdoor Shively. He dives back safely, just barely. The Law had the right idea to try to get Shively, but heads up base running there by Connor to get back. And again, that 1-0 pitch missed. Count now 2 balls and no strikes for Mark Carpenter. And talk about getting dangerous the deeper into a game you go. That's certainly the case for Carpenter. Not even on a game-by-game basis, but just at-bats. I mean, you get deep into the count against Carpenter, he'll make you pay. Here's the 2-0 before, again, another throw over to first. This time almost gave Matthew some trouble, but to no avail. They're very worried about Shively over there at first. Matthew, once more coming set. Finally delivers the 2-0, misses high and away again, 3-0. After Carpenter in the order, it's Max Price. Infield at double play depth. Mendez and Zauer shading a bit towards second. 3-0 is going to miss, and a 4-pitch walk issued to Carpenter puts 2 runners on and 1 out for Max Price. And, man, I spoke of earlier, Mike Reese on his way out of the Hidden Valley dugout to talk things over with his arm, Jack Matthew, before the at-bat against Max Price. Well, a good pause in the action will give us a chance to check a couple of scores for Klamath Basin teams and take a look at the softball game that's going on just over the way. And looks like I got to pull this up here. Henley softball, last I heard, was trailing. Well, no box score available, at least not right now. Do our best. I believe it was 5-4 Hidden Valley last time we got a score update there. Klamath Union playing Madras. Madras White Buffaloes have flipped the script a little bit on Klamath Union. It's now the White Buffaloes trail on the top of the sixth, 15-7. Back in this one, still scoreless. Bottom of the third inning, 2 runners on for Max Price. It's Shively at second, Carpenter at first. Price awaits the first pitch. That one misses down and in, 1-0. Price grounded out his first time up. That was back in the first inning. After Price, it's Jacoby Takini. Small lead off of first by Carpenter. First baseman Mendez playing on the cut of the grass in front of him. 1-0 to Max Price. And Matthew again waits to deliver. Been stepping off quite a bit, worried about Shively. Hornets could try to put a hit and run together just to try to make something happen. Runs have been, well, to this point, impossible to come by. 1-0 from Matthew. Now delivers home. That one nearly hits Price, but scooted out of the way in time. The count now 2-0. Doesn't look like Hidden Valley has anybody moving in the bullpen, although they could be out on the field as well, whoever would be the next Mustangs pitcher. Still too early to say for Matthew. He's had good command for the first portion of this game, but back-to-back walks have him in trouble. 2-0 on its way to Price. That one misses high, 3-0. In danger of loading up the bases for the cleanup hitter. Price can afford to be patient here. That one will miss as well. And the bases are loaded for Jacoby Takini. Shively moves to third, Carpenter to second. And here's Takini, who's 0 for 1 in this game. He struck out back in the first inning, but no better guy to be up right now than Jacoby Takini, the conference leader in runs batted in. On deck is Bo Pyle, but this is where all eyes are right now on Jacoby Takini, the freshman, a chance to put his team ahead. The first pitch is a curveball that nearly got Takini on the knee. Takes it for a ball, 1-0. Well, now Matthew, who's walked 3 straight, it's going to be tough to try to come inside against Takini. Matthew takes a look to the dugout as if to see what's happening in there, but now toes the rubber once more. As he comes set with the 1-0 against Takini. Pitch on its way. Takini lifts it high, foul. And the count even at 1. Big opportunity for Takini. Team leader in a couple statistical categories. Already talked about his team lead in RBI. He's also tied for the team lead in walks with 6. And has the most singles on the team with 14. Bats .438 this season. Here's the 1-1 to Takini. That one finds the inner third of the zone, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. Takini has to choke up a little bit here, losing an inch off the bat, tighten up that swing, and try to put a ball in play. Double play is in order for the Mustang defense. But a ball hit to the corners, they could come straight home with it and try to turn 2 that way as well. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Takini. With 1 out, here's the pitch. Takini rolls one to first. Mendez charging it. He goes home with the first out, and they got him. And this one remains scoreless. Now 2 outs, bases remain loaded for Bo Pyle. Takini will reach on the fielder's choice. Wise decision by Mendez. Thought that's what would happen if they hit the ball hard enough to him. And that's exactly what happened. Bo Pyle 1 for 1 today. He doubled in the second inning. Pyle has been seeing the ball very well as of late. Hitting streak in the last 3 games for Bo. And again, 2 last time out. A couple of doubles for him. Here's the pitch. Pyle takes that one high in the zone for a strike. Pyle, I think, just trying to get a gauge on the zone there. Might have loved that call, but it was over the plate right around his elbows. That's a strike to some, and so it's an 0-1 count. Matthew trying to escape this jam after putting himself here. Again, 3 consecutive walks with 1 out earlier in the inning. Bases are still loaded, but now 2 outs after that fielder's choice from Tacchini. And the 0-1 misses wide, 1-1. Look back to the top of this inning. Mark Carpenter working out of a jam himself. Matthew trying to replicate that here, but Pyle trying to put his team in front for the first time today and break our scoreless tie. 1-1 to Pyle. That one misses in. 2-1. Another fastball that was in on the hands of Pyle, but this one did miss a little inside. Pyle had to scoot out of the way as he gets ahead in the count. On deck is Corbin Hamilton. On third is Carpenter. Price at second. And Tacchini at first. Pyle takes strike 2. And so now, I have to choke up a little bit here. Try to put a ball in play. Got to get a base hit to score a run here. The 2-2 to Pyle. Taken for strike 3, and Jack Matthew escapes a bases-loaded jam to keep us scoreless heading to the 4th inning. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades. To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Josh Eldridge back with you from Rosser Field at Henley High School through 3 innings in the Skyline Conference affair between the Hornets and the Mustangs. We are scoreless. For Hidden Valley, no runs on 2 hits, no errors for the Mustangs. They've left 4 runners on base so far. For Henley, no runs on 2 hits. They've committed 2 errors and left 5 runners on base, most notably the bottom of the 3rd, leaving the bases loaded. Now it's up to Mark Carpenter to try and keep things right where they are. He did a fantastic job in the last inning. Just to go back and recap it for you, quick ground out, quick strikeout to start the 3rd. But back-to-back errors put him in some hot water, but was able to gather himself, had a battle against Elijah Zauer that he won with the punch-out. That would be his 6th strikeout of the day, and kept things right where they were. Looking to do it again here as he falls behind in the count 1-0 to Mauricio Mendez. Mendez is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That came back in the 2nd inning. Now the pitch. That one finds the zone. Ball and a strike. Mustangs play here today. They've got the weekend off before playing Wednesday. That's when they'll face Klamath Union, begin a 3-game series with those guys. Take a look at some scores for Klamath Union. That game is 17-7 in favor of Madras in the 6th inning. A ball and 2 strikes, the count to Mauricio Mendez as he steps out, back in, waits for the pitch, and watches a curveball dip below the zone, 2-2. And And waved at and missed. Got Mauricio Mendez on the outside fastball, and he goes down swinging. 7th strikeout of the day for Mark Carpenter. And on his 50th pitch of the day. That brings up the catcher, Logan Law. He got a hold of one, sent it deep to center field for a double his last time up. Here he takes strike one. Law hit it hard to center field. It's actually over the head of Douglas, off the base of the wall. He's looking to repeat that performance. Here he takes a high fastball, held up in time after checking his swing, a ball and a strike. After Logan Law in the Hidden Valley order, it's Hunter Gillette. The 1-1 is looked at for strike two, a breaking pitch around the knees over the plate. It's in the zone. And now the count 1-2 to Law. Pitch from Carpenter, swung on and missed. Chased the slider. Diving away from the right-handed hitting Law for strike three. Back-to-back Ks to begin the fourth. And in steps Hunter Gillette. 3 strikeouts in a row dating back to last inning for Carpenter. 8 total for the ball game. And Hunter Gillette, a previous punch-out casualty back in the second inning. Here he takes ball one in the dirt. (1-0) for Carpenter. That one is a check swing, but in the zone. 1-1. Carpenter fires in a high fastball on the 1-1 count. Showing bunt was Gillette. He pulls back in time to take that pitch. And he gets ahead in the count for doing so. It's now 2-1. Carpenter with the 2-1. It's fouled back, 2-2. Carpenter's season-high strikeout total, for those who may be wondering, came on March 26th in his second start of the year, when he punched out 11 batters against Gladstone. He had 10 against the Dalles on April 4th. Here's the 2-2 home from Carpenter. Curveball throws him. Striking out the side. Carpenter in the fourth inning. Going to the bottom half. Still scoreless on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
It starts to warm up outside, it's time to tackle your lawn. And Kyle's Lawn Care is who to contact. Kyle's been doing lawn care in Klamath Falls for over 9 years. He offers a variety of services designed to make your life easier. Kyle's Lawn Care offers weekly mowing jobs, which includes mowing, edging, and blowing off sidewalks, snow removal, big cleanup jobs, dump runs, and more. At Kyle's Lawn Care, they strive to give each job their all and go the extra mile to exceed their customers' expectations. To get an estimate, you can call or text 541-281-3623. Kyle's Lawn Care.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Here in the bottom of the fourth inning and still scoreless at Henley High School between the Hornets and the Hidden Valley Mustangs. I want to remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by the Pacific Power Foundation, who donated nearly $70,000 in 2024 to organizations like the Henley Booster Club, the Klamath and Lake Counties Food Bank, and the Lost River Bluegrass Festival. Big thanks to the Pacific Power Foundation for coming on board for Henley baseball this season. Corbin Hamilton, the right-handed bat for the Hornets, steps in. He swings and misses at strike one. It'll be Hamilton, Pimley, and Sims. That's 6, 7, 8 in the Henley order in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed pitch. That might have been a fastball. Either way, it misses elevated. A ball and a strike. As the sun dips behind the clouds here in Klamath Falls. Shade over the field. And the wind is picking up as well. The 1-1 misses in. 2-1. At 65 degrees at first pitch. Now dipped down to 61 here in the basin. Here's the 2-1. Fouled straight back, count 2-2. I know those of you who might be listening from Grants Pass tonight know the weather can change there on a dime too. Trust me, I know it. I'm actually an alumni of Hidden Valley myself back in 2018, but here in Klamath Falls. And actually where I got my start here in broadcasting was at Hidden Valley High School. 2-2 on its way to Corbin Hamilton. Fouls it back once more. Count remains 2-2. That's what I was saying earlier in the broadcast. It has felt like Henley has just always been in the way of Hidden Valley and their quest for greatness in baseball. Hidden Valley's been good for a long time, but Henley's just been a little better each year. 2-2 fouled off again for Hamilton. You look back to years like 2017 and 2018 where Henley comes in second in a league championship, makes playoffs until they meet the Hornets and get eliminated there. Years like last season where Hidden Valley was trying to make a run at the league championship and wound up getting swept by the Hornets. Their only losses in league play. And so when I was a student at Hidden Valley, that's exactly what it felt like, that Henley was just in the way. Now, of course, on the other side of things, I don't mind it too much. Here's the 2-2 again on its way to Hamilton. Putting up a good fight in this at-bat. Takes ball 3 high, 3-2. Hamilton 0 for 1 today, now in a full count pitch. Here it comes. That one misses high, and Hamilton aboard with a leadoff walk. And for Jack Matthew, hadn't walked a batter until the 3rd inning. And since then, he's walked 4 of the last 6 batters he's faced. Carson Pimley steps in now with nobody out and a runner on first. He is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout that came back in the 2nd inning. Pimley bat .367 this year. 9 of his 11 base hits have been singles. Here he shows bunt, pulls back in time, and is ahead in the count 1-0. Looked like the off-speed pitch, and once it started coming after Pimley, had to duck out of the way. And again, after Pimley in the order, it's Carson Sims. Matthews set with the 1-0. Pimley again showing bunt, but a move over to first. Hamilton's back safely, maybe thinking about a hit and run on the mind of Jack Matthew. Now looking at Hamilton aboard at first, he is a perfect 2 of 2 in stolen base opportunities this year. Again, Pimley showing bunt, pulls back in time, throw down to first, and back safely is Hamilton. They're trying to see, did Pimley pull back the bunt in time? They're going to say Pimley pulled back the bunt in time, and the count is 2-0. Even checked down to the first base umpire, and he agreed. So Pimley shows bunt on the 2-0, lays it down in front of the mound. Matthew up with it. He'll make the easy throw to first in time for the first out, but Hamilton advancing to second. Carson Sims, an RBI opportunity in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a scoreless game, but Sims a chance to change things. 3rd on the team in batting, well, really 2nd. The 2 guys at the top are tied for first. So Carson Sims bats .480 this season. 7 RBI on the year. Trying to find a patch of grass out in the outfield and knock home Hamilton. Waiting for him out there at second. Henley has had runners in scoring position in every inning, but unable to capitalize so far. First pitch to Sims, a breaking ball, rolled out towards short. Mendez driving in, makes the throw in time for the second out. But advancing to third is Corbin Hamilton. Ryan Douglas stepping in now, 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to center field his last time up. Hamilton to third. After Douglas, lineup turns over for the Hornets with Connor Shively waiting on deck. Set is Matthew. And the pitch. Chased on the outside. Count 0-1. Small lead off a third for Hamilton. Pitch on its way. Hit in the air, shallow center field. Back is the second baseman, Zauer, backpedaling to make the catch and end the inning. A leadoff base runner doesn't go the Hornets' way. And again, heading to the fifth, scoreless. We continue your broadcast to Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Getting set for the top of the fifth inning. 8, 9, and 1 in the Hidden Valley order due up. That's Landon Nash, Lawson O'Leary, and Wiley Mendez. It's been a great ball game so far. Both offenses have had opportunities, but both starting pitchers have really done a fine job of working out of some tough jams. Mark Carpenter back in the third, heck, even back in the second inning with one out and a runner at second base, was able to get out of that too. Here in the top of the fifth inning, first pitch fouled off, count 0-1. Carpenter here with the 0-1. Off-speed pitch out in front of that one is Nash, count 0-2. Nash 0 for 1. He flew out in that second inning to end it. Now down to the count 0-2. The pitch from Carpenter, high fastball, misses 1-2. Again, Nash just off to a slow start this year. Still looking for his first base hit. Although this is only the third game he's played this year. The 1-2 breaking ball found the outside, and Carpenter another strikeout. He has had great command all day long. That is 5 strikeouts in a row for Mark, dating back to the end of the third inning. Here's Lawson O'Leary, 0 for 1 with a ground out back in the third. Here Carpenter misses 1-0. Takini setting up outside. Here's the 1-0. That time he finds the zone with the outside fastball, 1-1. Carpenter now up to 10 strikeouts on the game, one away from matching his season high here in the fifth inning. The 1-1. Waved at and missed, 1-2. Takini again, looking for the outside pitch. The 1-2 is going to miss, 2-2. Almost chasing it out of the zone was Lawson O'Leary there, but able to hold up in time on the curveball. Carpenter was trying to get him to chase. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wiley Mendez on deck for Hidden Valley. Here's the pitch for Carpenter. Fastball just misses upstairs. The count runs full. Don't think I would have been able to lay off that pitch for O'Leary, that high fastball. Like I've said, it just looks so good. That one was borderline, too, with 2 strikes. Got to be real confident to take that one. Or maybe it just surprised him. Either way, gets another pitch. Here's the 3-2. Bounced foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. The count full. I talked a little bit about what's up next for Hidden Valley after this game. It's next week date with Klamath Union, and same for Henley. They start a 3-game series with Phoenix next week. Here's the 3-2 again. Swung on and missed. Carpenter matching his season high in strikeouts as he sets down Lawson O'Leary for the second out in the 5th inning. And now back to the top of the order for the Mustangs with Wiley Mendez. Six punch-outs in a row for Carpenter. He's a man on a mission. Here's the first pitch, fouled back, 0-1. One and one, the count now to Mendez after that last pitch missed in the dirt. And now 2-1 after a pitch misses outside. Mendez 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out and struck out so far in the game. 2-1. Bouncing ball to third. Price plays it on a backhand. Throw across the diamond in time. And the Mustangs down in order in the 5th. Going to the bottom half next. Knotted up at 0 between the Mustangs and the Hornets on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Josh Eldridge back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Still scoreless in the bottom of the 5th inning here. Henley softball team trailing 12-2 in the 5th inning against Hidden Valley. That's just behind us. We'll give you a couple other score updates here in a moment. First pitch on its way to Shively. Grounds it foul down the first baseline. The count will move to 0-1. The Mazama Vikings trailing the Phoenix Pirates right now. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Phoenix leads 4-1. The final score in Game 1 for Klamath Union Madras as the White Buffaloes come away victorious 17-7. And that's all there is to update right now. Here's the 0-1 to Shively. He takes it for a strike. Count 0-2. Pitch there in on Shively's hands. Had to get out of the way of it. Now the count 1-2. Matthew comes with the 1-2. Breaking pitch. Shively lifts it in the air. Other way. Could be playable in foul territory. And the catch is made by Gillette behind third base. The first out in the 5th. Some other final scores we'll clue you in on when we have some time. Lost River and Bonanza playing a doubleheader today. Lost River coming away 2-0 in that doubleheader with a 19-0 victory and a 10-0 victory over the Antlers. And again, still one more game to go between KU and Madras later on today. Should start any time. In steps Mark Carpenter for the Hornets. First pitch, lined into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for extra bases. That one is going to bounce over the wall, and a ground rule double with one out in the 5th. Carpenter now 2 for 2 today, and that brings up Max Price. Hard hit ball. Now in steps Max Price. What a time to come up big for Max Price here, a guy who has missed the last 5 games of action for Henley, and a chance to get him on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Matthews going to step off. 1 away, Carpenter at second. Price was the leading hitter on the team before he got hurt back at the Newport tournament. Has 3 RBI this season in 4 games played. The pitch is in the dirt. Law keeps it in front of him, but breaking for third is Carpenter. He's in safely. So now 90 feet away is Carpenter. 1-0 count to Price. The pitch is taken for a strike on the inner third. Ball and a strike. On deck for Henley is Jacoby Tacchini. Pitch on the way. That one misses low. Count now 2 balls and a strike to Price. He's already walked once today and was left stranded in the third. Otherwise, he's grounded out so far. Here's the 2-1. Curveball misses high, 3-1. Good take by Max Price. That hanging curveball looks good, but realized that it would end up upstairs and laid off. As Matthew comes set with the 3-1. The pitch is going to miss high, and a walk issued to Price will put runners on the corners with 1 out, and we may be getting a visit from the Hidden Valley pitching coach, Mike Reese, as he makes his way out of the dugout. Unsure if we'll see a change quite yet, but while we have some time, I want to remind you that our sports coverage on mybasin.com, helped out by God's Gifts Photography. Are you a parent of a high school athlete tired of trying to take good photos and keep up with the action? That's all right. There is a solution. It's God's Gifts Photography, who attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. You can search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. That's also their website is God's Gifts 2. Big shout out to Annalisa, the photographer behind God's Gifts Photography. She took some fantastic photos of the Geno's All-Star Classic from a couple of weeks ago, the All-Star basketball game that we hosted at Mazama, and just some great photos there. So big shout out to her, and oftentimes if you see a photo published on mybasin.com, oftentimes it's credited to her. So be sure to use her if your next event at high school sports. Back in the action, Jack Matthews stays out there for the Mustangs. Again, runners at the corners, Carpenter at third, Price at first, 1 out, and Jacoby Tacchini at the plate. First pitch swinging for Jacoby. He misses the upstairs fastball, 0-1. Tacchini had an RBI opportunity last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice and was left stranded. Otherwise, he struck out today. Again, the conference leader in runs batted in entering today's ball game. 18 on the season to go along with being a .438 hitter as a freshman. Takes a pitch outside. Price takes second uncontested. So there goes your double play opportunity for Hidden Valley. 2 runners in scoring position now for Tacchini, and a 1-1 count to the Henley catcher. Still 1 away. Ball in the outfield. If it's hit deep enough, could score Carpenter and break our tie. Infield comes in for Hidden Valley. They're going to try to cut Carpenter down. The 1-1 on its way from Takini. Ground ball to third, foul. And so it's a 1-2 count now to the young Henley catcher. On deck after Takini is Bo Pyle. Matthew trying to do it again to the Hornets. Wiggle himself out of a jam. Still a tall mountain to climb. Here's the 1-2 against Takini. Upstairs fastball taken. 2-2. Right-handed bat for Henley steps back in the box in a 2-2 count. Infield is crowding him as Matthew comes set. Kicks, delivers the 2-2. A breaking ball is going to shoot into the gap into left field. Carpenter's going to score. Price trips on his way around third. He'll have to stay put, but an RBI single breaks our tie. Henley leads 1-0. I'll keep runners at the corners as Max Price stumbled trying to turn third. He'll stay put. Carpenter comes in to score an RBI single for Takini, and it brings up Bo Pyle. Placed it perfectly between Gillette and Mendez. They were playing in. If they were playing just standard, that's a routine ground ball to third base, but it just got on Gillette a bit too quickly. Tried to lay out for it, but to no avail. And Henley is on the board. Bo Pyle bats now for the Hornets as he is 1 for 2 today, a double in the second inning, followed by a strikeout in the third. But the Hornets hoping to pile on here off the bat of Pyle. That pitch misses high and away, 1-0. After Bo, it's Corbin Hamilton. Pyle batting .353 this season for the Hornets. The 1-0 misses well outside. Now the count 2-0 to Pyle. Matthew, the left-hander, taking his time, getting back on the rubber here. Trying to find his center. It's the 2-0. He's going to have to wait. Move over to first. Try to keep Takini there. Pardon me, I believe Porter Frost is in running for him, and he is. It's Takini, the catcher, afforded that courtesy runner. So Porter Frost aboard at first. Price on third. Pyle in a 2-0 count at the dish. Matthew, another move over to first. Sean Teeters delivering some signs to his team from the third base coaching box. See if the Hornets have anything on the base paths here in a 2-0 count. Could let Pyle swing away in a hit-and-run situation. Try to knock him in both. A ball in the gap could certainly score Frost. That one misses inside, 3-0. Pitch on its way to Pyle, the 3-0. That one is in the zone. The count now 3-1. Pyle looking to make it more than just a one-run ball game here in the fifth. Small lead off of first for Porter Frost. Hitters count and a balk. As Matthew twitched out there on the hill, that's going to score another run. Max Price in, and Henley leads 2-0. Advancing to second is Porter Frost. And still a 3-1 count at the plate for Bo Pyle. (3-1) to Pyle. Off-speed pitch sent deep to left field. That is over the head of the left fielder, down for extra bases. They're waving Frost around to score. He will get in standing. Bo Pyle there with a standing double and an RBI. Henley now up 3-0. Two doubles on the day for Bo Pyle. And it looks like we're going to see a pitching change for Hidden Valley as Henley leads 3-0 with one out in the bottom of the fifth inning. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Josh Eldridge back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. Pitching change for Hidden Valley. It's going to bring Elijah Zauer into pitch. Now out at second base. Let's see. Looks like it's going to be Chambers, I believe. So Matthew has moved out to left field. And it would seem as though Chambers is now at second. And a foul ball for Corbin Hamilton in his first offering. Bottom of the fifth inning, one out. And now an 0-1 count to Corbin Hamilton. 3 runs home this inning for Henley. Started out with a one-out double from Carpenter, followed by a walk and a single for Jacoby Tacchini. Bo Pyle now out there at second after a double. We still have one away in the inning. Can't quite close the book on Matthew yet since he is responsible for that runner out there at second. Zauer taking his time out there, and time is called at the plate by Corbin Hamilton. Oh, 1 from Zauer. That one misses in. Ball and a strike. After Hamilton in the order, it's Carson Pimley waiting his turn on deck. Zauer set with the 1-1. And now the pitch. That one is going to miss downstairs, 2-1. Hamilton, tall stance and a 2-1 count. Zauer taking his time, now set. Now on a breaking pitch, misses inside, now the count 3-1. Hamilton has walked and grounded out in his first 2 plate appearances so far. That's .289 this season. Pitch on the way. Hamilton takes it for a strike, and the count runs full. 3-2. Decent lead off a second for Pyle. Zauer keeps tabs on him. Now delivers home. Hamilton pops it up in the infield, playable for the catcher Law. He is unable to make the catch in foul territory. Looked like a hit off his thumb, too. That never feels good. And Corbin Hamilton will keep it alive in this one, a 3-2 count. Looking at Elijah Zauer this season, this is his first appearance in relief. He worked 5 innings in his only start of the year, and it was a no-hit effort for him. Out through those 5 innings unscathed. Here he's in a 3-2 count against Corbin Hamilton. The delivery home. Hamilton rolls it foul once more. Another long at-bat for Corbin. Count remains 3-2. Son of the Henley principal, Jesse Hamilton, who's a former softball coach himself, helped Henley to a couple state championship appearances. Corbin, 3-2 at the dish. Delivery misses, and it's going to get away from the catcher Law. Pyle advances to third. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Carson Pimley to the dish. Second walk of the day for Corbin Hamilton. He's awarded first. Carson Pimley 0 for 2 today. He is struck out and grounded out in his first 2 plate appearances. That time he will miss down and away, 1-0 from Elijah Zauer. Feels good to finally be on the board for Henley after being so close for so long. Finally dispatched Matthew on the mound, too. Here's the 1-0. That one a curveball misses down, 2-0. Zauer set with the 2-0 once more, and the pitch. He hits that one in the air left field. Getting under it is the left fielder Matthew. Pyle tagging. He's going to try to score. The throw is not in time. Takes the catcher up the first base line, and Pyle in to score. A sacrifice fly for Carson Pimley makes it 4-0 Hornets. And now Carson Sims trying to keep the rally going for Henley. Runner aboard at first is Corbin Hamilton. 2 away for Sims. Still looking for his first base hit today. He's flown out and grounded out so far. Zauer set on his first delivery to Sims. That's going to skip to the dish. Law doing a nice job of picking it out of the dirt. A 1-0 count now to Sims. Law has done some good work today. He's had a couple pitches not go his way. Kind of wild that hasn't been able to corral, but only 1 passed ball today, which is, that's pretty good for a high school catcher. He works hard. That time, no different. It's a 1-0 count right now to Sims. And the delivery on the move is Hamilton, and Law got him. Good throw down, and that will end the inning, but not before the Hornets score 4 runs on 3 hits in the inning. They leave one stranded. They lead 4-0. Heading to the 6th next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Getting ready for the top of the 6th inning in a 4-run ball game. Henley scoring all 4 in the bottom of the 5th. They've got 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and they have left 6 runners on base. For Hidden Valley, no runs on 2 hits. They have not committed an error, and they have left 4 runners on base so far. Due up for them this inning is Caden Kunert, Jack Matthew, and Elijah Zauer. As Mark Carpenter still on the mound for Henley, looking to put up another 0 and get those bats back up again in the bottom half of the 6th. Here he finds the zone on a breaking ball, 0-1. Carpenter now working a little bit quicker, fires in the 0-1, and Kunert going to offer up at a pitch in the dirt, 0-2. Kunert today is 1 for 2. He singled in the first and reached on an error in the 3rd and was left stranded. Here's Carpenter with the 0-2. High chopping ball out over the head of Carpenter. Price up with it, fires to first in time. What a play for Max Price. And Coach Spinner for Hidden Valley comes storming out of the dugout. He can't believe it. Neither can the Hidden Valley fans in attendance. That was a close play. Kunert with his hands up at first. And Coach Spinner, he's going to ask for help. I think rightfully so. Want to make sure it's right. But that was a real close play at first. The umpire's conferring now around home plate. The first base umpire comes down and discusses this. And they're going to say again that he's out. Home plate umpire offering no help, and Coach Spinner upset about it. Still arguing here at home plate. Ordered back to the dugout. Unhappy. 1 away in the 6th. Well, that play stands. Give a lot of credit to Max Price. That was a high bounce into fair territory. Made the play right behind the mound and got the speedy Caden Kunert. And just a great play. Here's Jack Matthew now at the dish. Breaking ball out towards Price. Skips by him into left field. And Matthew aboard there on the air and brings up Elijah Zauer. Third error of the day for the Hornets. Brings up Elijah Zauer. Started as the second baseman and has since taken over pitching duties, but at the dish today, he is 0 for 2. Move over to first, back safely is Matthew. Elijah Zauer, a guy you want at the plate in situations like these for Hidden Valley, bats .500 on the season. On base percentage of .667. Trying to just keep a rally alive and get back into this game. Here, a pitch in the dirt to Keeney. Keeps it in front of him. Nice job there by the freshman catcher for Henley. And the count is 1-0. Keeping Matthew from getting into scoring position there, certainly. After Zauer in the order, it's Mauricio Mendez. Carpenter looking in, gets the sign from Tacchini. Checks the runner at first before coming set, and then makes a quick move over to the bag. And diving back safely is Jack Matthew. Matthew has stolen one base this year in one attempt. 1-0 will have to wait as Carpenter steps off. Now set once more. Carpenter kicks, delivers a breaking pitch. He broke it off. Elijah Zauer checks his swing in time. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Just so much break on that pitch from Carpenter. If you can read it well coming out of his hands, you know to lay off it. But if you can't see it coming out of his hands, it just drops off the table. It's such a good pitch for him. 2-0 on the way from Mark. Not before another move over to first. Worried about Matthew. Thinking Hidden Valley will have something going on the bases. And, well, they have today on multiple occasions. Drawn up a hit and run that's worked out for him back in the third. Was able to get 2 runners in scoring position, but unable to capitalize in that inning. The 2-0 is taken on the outside for strike 1. Temperature continues to drop out here at Henley High School, down to 58 degrees. The wind picking up as well. 2-1 from Carpenter. Breaking ball, got him. Strike 2. That was a beautiful bender again. And starts up near your hands for the right-handed hitting Elijah Zauer and just bends over the plate. Probably caught a bit more of the plate than Carpenter would have liked, but got the strike call anyway. Now he comes with the 2-2. Another pitch on the outside. This time it misses the outside corner, so the count runs full for Elijah Zauer. He's walked 3 times, and he's got 3 hits this season. He's a patient hitter. Struck out twice today. Carpenter with the 3-2. It is looked at for ball 4, a slider missing low. 2 runners on now for Mauricio Mendez as Matthew moves to second. Zauer aboard at first. Here with 1 out in the 6th, that's the first walk that Carpenter has surrendered so far. And Zauer, now the pitcher, will come out in favor of Cruz Leavitt, the now courtesy runner for Hidden Valley. Leavitt, a senior for the Mustangs. Mauricio Mendez stepping up now. He's also 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts today, and Craig Connor emerging from the Henley dugout. Have a hard time believing they'll take the ball from Carpenter here, but maybe just talk it over with him, make sure that knows the situation as we take some time here on the broadcast. Remind you today's broadcast is brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. So just a quick chat with Carpenter as Coach Connor returns to the dugout. It's Jack Matthew aboard at second, Elijah Zauer on first, 1 out in the top of the 6th inning, and Henley leads Hidden Valley 4-0. Mauricio Mendez, right-handed bat for for Hidden Valley, a multi-sport athlete, plays football and basketball. Here he offers up at the first pitch, 0-1. Curveball for Carpenter. He's been relying on that off-speed stuff a lot more the second and third time through the order, and that's what guys will often do. Come with the heat early, slow it down, get guys off balance late. A first pitch curveball, uncharacteristic for most, but not for Carpenter. Here he comes with the 0-1. Fastball in, foul towards the Hidden Valley dugout, and Logan Law backhanded that in the on-deck circle. That might have been the most impressive defense of the day, to be quite honest. Mendez in an 0-2 count. Carpenter looks in for the sign from Tacchini. Comes together. Carpenter looks the runner back at second, now delivers. The slider misses outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Logan Law, I mentioned on deck. He's waiting for his chance to try to keep a rally going for Hidden Valley. He represents the tying run if Mendez is able to get on base. The 1-2. Fouled straight back. Count remains 1-2. Mendez, I said it once already, but he is the team leader in batting average this season. And coming into this game, he'd only struck out one other time. Carpenter's got him twice today. And a timeout called. Mendez wanted to step out, gather himself. Now the pitch from Carpenter, a breaking ball, fouled back out of play. And so we'll do it again. 1-2. Mendez staying alive in this at-bat. Outfield shaded a little bit to the left with the right-handed batting Mendez. Don't know the scouting report on him, but expecting him to pull a little bit. In a 2-strike count, he chokes up. He'll go just about anywhere here. Carpenter takes his time after coming set. Now delivers. Swung on and missed. Oh, got a piece of it. Thought that might have ended up in the glove of Tacchini, but we're going to stay alive in this at-bat for Mendez. A nice job on fighting off that breaking pitch. Again, that curveball. Carpenter's thrown it a few times in this at-bat. See if Mendez is trying to get the timing on it. Carpenter could go somewhere else here. Second baseman Sims trying to keep the runner honest at second. As Carpenter motions home with the 1-2. This time he got him swinging. Down goes Mendez for the third time today on strikes. Brings up Logan Law. And that is a new season high in strikeouts for Mark Carpenter as well. 12 on the game. Surpasses 11 from his second start of the year. Now just trying to get out of this sixth inning. Still 2 runners on, but 2 out for Logan Law. The delivery from Carpenter. Law pops it up in the infield. Sims underneath it, and he will make the catch to end the inning. The Mustangs leave 2 stranded. No base hits in the inning and no runs as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Henley in a 4-0 advantage over Hidden Valley. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Josh Eldridge back with you from Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School in Klamath Falls as we continue this Skyline Conference action between the Hornets and the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Henley up 4-0 in the first of 4 meetings between these two teams. They will meet again later in the year on May 7th and for a doubleheader at Hidden Valley on May 10th. So a lot of baseball left to be played this season, but for both of these teams, game 1 of this series and getting a win is important. Henley has won the last 6 consecutive meetings dating back the last couple years. Of course, they've been undefeated conference champions for 2 seasons in a row, offering Hidden Valley their only losses of those 2 campaigns. So certainly some bad blood between these 2 squads. And in the Skyline Conference, the Henley and Hidden Valley not quite talked about as a very fierce rivalry until we get to the baseball diamond, and that's where it could go up against any rivalry in the state of Oregon at any classification in my book. Carson Sims leading things off for the Hornets in the bottom of the 6th. Elijah Zauer still on the mound for Hidden Valley as he enters his 2nd inning in relief. Comes in relief of the left-hander Jack Matthew. And now that we're into the 6th inning, can officially close the book on Jack Matthew. And we'll read you his final line score after the 1-0 pitch that Sims fights off on the inside. He was the count 1-1. Matthew pitched 4 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He walked 5 and struck out 4. So he would be on the hook as the losing pitcher today unless the Mustangs can turn things around. 1-1, Sims is going to swing through the curveball, 1-2. Carson has flown out and grounded out so far. Saw a couple pitches last inning, but when Corbin Hamilton was caught stealing, Sims got to restart his at-bat. Now in a 1-2 count, again, swings underneath that curveball, goes down on strikes for the first out in the 6th inning. This will bring up Ryan Douglas. Douglas is 0 for 2 today as well. He's flown out twice, once to center field and once to the second baseman. Zauer coming after him with the first pitch. That one's going to miss low, 1-0. For Douglas this season, batting .192. When he gets on base, though, he scores. He's got 5 hits, 4 walks, been on base 9 times. He scored 8 times. Just trying to get on for Douglas. Here, a bouncing ball sent to third. Gillette is not going to come up with it. That's going to roll into shallow left and likely be scored an error as Douglas reaches first, and that's Hidden Valley's first error of the game. Comes with 1 out in the 6th as the Henley lineup card turns over for Connor Shively. Gillette had to range over towards the left side there and trying to come up with it, just lost it on the transfer again. We've seen that a couple times today. So now Shively bats with a runner at first and 1 out. Connor Shively today is 0 for 2. He's struck out and flown out, and he's also walked, and that was in the 3rd inning. Here's a 1-0. Pardon me, the first pitch misses, so it's 1-0. Shively and then Mark Carpenter waits on deck for Henley. Zauer is going to be sent right back to him. Bounces off of Zauer. Shively is going to be safe at first. The throw to first is wild. Down the line and right. Shively digging for 2. They're sending Douglas. Digging for the plate. Douglas dives in safely. Henley up 5-0 on an error, allowing Shively to advance to second. It'll be a base hit plus the error for Shively, allowing him to advance to second and allowing Douglas to score. Back-to-back Mustang errors in the 6th allowed Henley to tack on 1 more. Now Mark Carpenter, maybe the most dangerous bat in the lineup. He gets a chance with a runner in scoring position and 1 away. Carpenter today, 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He also walked in the 3rd. First pitch on its way, and that one's going to skip to the catcher, Law. Keeps it in front of him. Count 1-0. And runner at second is Shively. He's certainly got some speed out there. Shively leads the team in stolen bases. I don't expect him to steal 3rd here, but just a good indication of how quick he is. Doesn't have to be hit particularly hard for Shively to score from second. 1-0 from Zauer. Carpenter puts a jolt into that one. To left field, back at the wall, and making the catch at the wall is Caden Coonert. Tagging from second and advancing to 3rd is Connor Shively. Boy, you can't hit a ball much harder than that and not come away with a home run for Carpenter. If that ball was hit 2 hours ago, it's gone. Instead, it's just a loud second out here in the 6th inning as Max Price steps in. Max Price today 0 for 1. But he's reached base twice today. He walked in the 3rd and 5th innings. First pitch to him here, curveball misses upstairs, 1-0. In the 5th inning, when he walked, he would come around to score Henley's second run of the ball game. Here they lead 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch from Price. That one must have been low, and Price ahead in the count, 2-0. After Price, it's Jacoby Tacchini on deck for Henley. Pitch to Price. That one found the zone, no question. 2-1. Price hasn't had a ton of RBI opportunity this year, only 3 on the season. Trying to tack on some more here. He takes the curveball on the inner third, and the count is even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Connor Shively 90 feet away from scoring. Law delivers the sign to Zauer, who comes set, kicks, fires, and a foul ball. Count remains. If you're curious for Hidden Valley, who's up to try to keep this game going, it is 7, 8, 9 in the order. That's Gillette, Nash, and O'Leary. 2-2 the count to Max Price. And he fouls off another curveball. Count remains 2-2. Price a wide batting stance, kind of keeps his bat forward as well, up in front of his face until he takes a big step, come into a more traditional stance. He takes his pitch outside there, 3-2. I'm always down for an unconventional batting stance myself. Max Price certainly fits the bill. Curveball, Price again, fouls it off. Count still full. Good battle here at the plate for Max Price. Third chance at a full count pitch. Hits one to right field. Moving back, the right fielder O'Leary underneath it to make the catch and end the inning. But the Hornets score 1 on 1 base hit. They leave 1 stranded. Heading to the top of the 7th, they lead 5-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
It starts to warm up outside, it's time to tackle your lawn. And Kyle's Lawn Care is who to contact. Kyle's been doing lawn care in Klamath Falls for over 9 years. He offers a variety of services designed to make your life easier. Kyle's Lawn Care offers weekly mowing jobs, which includes mowing, edging, and blowing off sidewalks, snow removal, big cleanup jobs, dump runs, and more. At Kyle's Lawn Care, they strive to give each job their all and go the extra mile to exceed their customers' expectations. To get an estimate, you can call or text 541-281-3623. Kyle's Lawn Care.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Henley Hornets looking to close out the Hidden Valley Mustangs in the top of the 7th inning as Henley leads 5-0. Mark Carpenter looking for a complete game today as he's thrown 95 pitches through the first 6 innings. He's only got a few more. He's going to try to make quick work of the bottom third of the Mustangs order. It's Hunter Gillette, Landon Nash, and Lawson O'Leary. No hits between the 3 of those guys in their first 2 times up. We'll see if they can keep the game alive for Hidden Valley or if they fall to the Hornets once more in Skyline Conference play. Henley softball game is concluded behind us. Try to grab a final score for you on that one in a moment. First pitch from Carpenter misses downstairs, 1-0. Here's a 1-0 again. That one misses outside, 2-0. Well, still no final score for the softball game. Not that I can see. I can see they're done. Don't quite know what the final score is. Once I find out, I'll let you know. Here's the 2-0 on the way from Carpenter. That one finds the inner third, 2-1. A couple other scores. Let's see. Klamath Union leading Madras 4-2 right now. That game is in the second inning. Here's a ground ball up the middle. That'll get into center field. Hunter Gillette trying to get the rally started for Hidden Valley in the top of the seventh inning. Leadoff single will do the trick. And this will bring up Gunnar Johnson hitting in the place of Landon Nash. Nash exits after an 0-for-2 day where he flew out and struck out. Now it's Johnson who bats with a runner on first and nobody out. A curveball finds the zone, 0-1. Again, checking in on the pitch count for Carpenter. He's at 97. The 0-1 finds the zone, 0-2. 110 pitches is the daily limit for high school baseball. Carpenter going to throw the 98th pitch here. The 0-2. Swung on and missed on the upstairs fastball. Johnson down for the first out in the seventh inning. Brings up Lawson O'Leary. He is 0-for-2 today as well. A ground out and a strikeout. That came in the fifth inning. Carpenter now at 13 Ks today. Here's the pitch. Misses low and away, 1-0. O'Leary stepping back in. The lineup card turns over the next hitter for Hidden Valley with Wiley Mendez waiting on deck. Here's the 1-0. Taken for a strike. The hard fastball over the middle evens the count at 1. O'Leary bats .250 this season for Hidden Valley. And a double this season as well. Here's the 1-1 for Carpenter. That one misses in. Carpenter let the two-seamer get away from him a bit there. 2-1. So Leary's fifth game of the season has missed about half the year. Not an everyday player for Hidden Valley, but trying to come up big for his squad here and prolong this game. Double play is in order, could end it, but that's not on the mind of O'Leary right now. Wants to keep this game going for his team and not fall to Henley again. 2-1. Taken for strike 2. A good fastball down around the knees. Carpenter has had that pitch working for him today. He's been able to place the fastball really well. And the breaking pitches to complement. He's had it working. The 2-2. That one is fouled off the right side. Count remains 2-2. Doesn't look like anyone's warming up for the Hornets, as I imagine whoever would come in to slam the door probably out there on the field right now, whether it's Price or Hamilton if Henley winds up needing somebody. 2-2. Taken for a ball outside 3-2. That fastball was in a good location trying to get O'Leary to chase, but an even better take by O'Leary in a 2-strike count. Now the count's full. Big pitch coming up for Carpenter. That is swung on and missed on the changeup. Carpenter pulling the string on O'Leary for the second out in the seventh inning. Now, top of the order for Hidden Valley, it's Wiley Mendez. Hitless today. He's grounded out twice and struck out once. A .267 hitter on the season. And it looks like Carpenter, well, this might spell the end for him here. He seems to be grabbing his non-dominant arm, but Coach Sean Teeters coming to home plate to designate the changes. We will step aside and we'll introduce you to the Henley pitcher who tries to get the final out next. Well, maybe. Nope, Coach Teeters not making a change yet. Mark Carpenter staying out there, trying to record the final out. Now, the rule, as I understand it, is you can hit 110 pitches and finish that at bat. And so, with Carpenter, I'll try to get a pitch count total for you right now. He's at 105, and so he could, 106, so he could finish this at bat as Wiley Mendez steps in. First pitch misses down and away, 1-0. Again, Mendez is grounded out twice, struck out once. Runner aboard at first for Hidden Valley is Hunter Gillette. He got there via leadoff single, but back-to-back Ks have Hidden Valley down to their final out. Carpenter finds the zone on the 1-0 pitch, evens it. This game continues. Caden Kunert will get the chance. Carpenter from the stretch comes set. Here's a pitch. That one is flared out towards right field. Pimley coming in. That's going to get down in front of him for a base hit. Heading for third is Hunter Gillette. The throw is not going to get there, and he is in safely. Hidden Valley has runners at the corners with 2 outs. And we'll see now, is there anyone coming out of the Henley dugout yet? They're saying stay out there. I believe that's his limit, though. I believe that's 110 for Carpenter, so Coach Connor coming out. And now we will finally see the change for Henley. A 5-0 ball game. It looks like Ian Meyer coming out of the dugout. He may be going to first, and we may be seeing Corbin Hamilton. That's what it looks like. We'll make sure on the other side. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Top of the seventh inning, and Henley looking to close out Hidden Valley. They lead right now 5-0, 2 outs, and a new pitcher in for Henley is Corbin Hamilton. Take a look at him in just a moment. Want to get you the other substitutions. Mark Carpenter has moved over from pitching to third base. Ian Meyer has taken the spot of Corbin Hamilton at first, and Max Price, the best of our knowledge, has exited the game. There you go, your changes for Henley. Let's take a look at Corbin Hamilton this season on the mound. This is his 5th appearance, 2nd in relief this year. And otherwise, he's pitched 12 innings, a 2-0 record, and a .583 ERA. Hamilton, I believe he's 2nd in the conference in that metric. Looking to close the door on Hidden Valley, come away with a win, and it's Caden Kunert standing in his way. He is 1 of 3. Singled in the first, reached on an error in the third, and grounded out in the 6th. Corbin Hamilton inherits Runners at the corners. Mendez is at first. Gillette is at third. And again, a 5-run ball game as the Mustangs are down to their final out. Pitch to Cooner. Over the middle for strike one. Cooner, left-handed bat for Hidden Valley, steps back in. Hamilton delivers the 0-1. That one is going to dip below the zone. 1-1. Difference between Hamilton and Carpenter. Well, one, you won't often see both of them in the same game. But just a different arm angle for both of these guys. And Corbin, a lot more slide on his pitches. Mark, a lot more up and down break. The fastball there misses upstairs, 2-1. Excited to see Hamilton get a full start underneath him. He's obviously had 3 already this season. I haven't been there for any of them. So excited to see the growth that he's had this year as he just tries to get out of this inning right now and come away with a win for his team. The 2-1. That one is going to be called strike 2. Two-seam fastball up and away to the left-handed hitting Caden Cooner. Jack Matthew waits on deck, hoping for a chance to extend this game for his team. The Mustangs down to their final strike. Here's Hamilton. It is fouled straight back. And the count remains 2-2. Two-two pitch coming up for Hamilton, and that one is going to miss upstairs, 3-2. In danger of loading the bases for Jack Matthew. Hamilton needing to throw a strike here in a big way. The pitch misses high, and the bases are loaded. Jack Matthew bats now. He is 0 for 2. A couple of errors and a strikeout so far. Hamilton with the first delivery, taken for a strike. 0-1. Elijah Zauer waits on deck for Hidden Valley. Hamilton now working from the windup with the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2, and the Mustangs again down to their final out, or final strike as well. Hamilton set. Takini sets up outside. The pitch is looked at for ball 1. That slider driving away from the right-handed hitting Matthew. He lays off of it with the game on the line and stays alive in this at-bat. The pitch from Hamilton. Hit high, left field. Coming in is Glidden. He will let that one drop in front of him, and then it gets over his head. That will score 2 runs, and an RBI double for Jack Matthew keeps the Mustangs alive. The score now 5-2. Gillette scored. Mendez scored. Cooner to third. Matthew to second. 2 RBIs for him. And now, representing the tying run, is Elijah Zauer. Zauer, a couple of strikeouts today and a walk. On the season, 6 runs batted in. That is a called strike, 0-1 to Zauer. Game riding on this at-bat. Hidden Valley putting up a fight in the top of the 7th. Here's the 0-1. Checks his swing on a high fastball. He did not go. The count even at 1. Mustangs dugout has come alive in this inning as well. Started with a leadoff single from Gillette. Carpenter got back-to-back punch-outs. Single, walk, double, though, has allowed Hidden Valley to score 2 runs. That pitch misses outside. 2-1 for Corbin. Just trying to close this game out. But as they say, the final out to get is often the hardest. The Mustangs proving that true right now. It's a 2-1 count to Elijah Zauer. The pitch from Hamilton. Looked at for strike 2. And again, for the 3rd time in a row, the Mustangs down to their final strike. Hamilton with the 2-2. Misses high, and the count is full. First base is open. Runners at second and third. But again, Zauer representing the tying run with Mendez on deck. The pitch from Hamilton. Strike 3 called. Got him on the bender, and the game is over. Henley wins this one 5-2 and improves to 3-0 in the Skyline Conference. We'll be back to recap it all for you as we continue your coverage this afternoon from Rosser Field on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Final score from this one at Henley High School. The Henley Hornets come away with a 5-2 victory over the Hidden Valley Mustangs. For the Hornets today, 5 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors for Henley, and they left 7 runners on base. For Hidden Valley, 2 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and they left 8 runners on base today. The winning pitcher with just a great day, Mark Carpenter. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, each of them earned. He walked 1, and a season-high 14 strikeouts today. For Jack Matthew, he is stuck with the loss after 4 1/3 of quality work. 5 hits, 4 runs, each of them earned, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Elijah Zauer came in relief of him, pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up a hit and a run, struck out 1. Corbin Hamilton closed the door, not good enough though for a save as he pitched just 1/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, gave up a walk, but he got the strikeout that counted and closed the door on this one. Want to highlight our Pacific Power play of the day, and in a game that wasn't super action-packed, kind of hard to select, but I'm going to have to award it again to Bo Pyle with a 5th inning double that helped Henley extend their lead when they scored 4 in that inning and keeping the rally going, and a double, your second of the day. Bo Pyle that'll earn you the Pacific Power play of the day. A couple other notables for Henley. 2 base hits for Mark Carpenter at the plate, 2 for 3, and a walk as well for him. I mentioned 2 hits for Bo Pyle, and then 1 hit for Connor Shively, the only other Hornet to record a base hit today. With this win for Henley, they will improve on the season to 7-2 overall, 3-0 in Skyline Conference play. For the Mustangs, they fall to, I believe, 7-3 on the season and 2-1 in Skyline Conference play. Up next for the Mustangs is a Wednesday date next week at Hidden Valley High School against Klamath Union. For the Henley Hornets, it is a game on Wednesday against the Phoenix Pirates, and we'll be there for you for that one on 104.3 and 960 Sports on the road at Phoenix. You may be wondering if you follow our content here on mybasin.com. Well, hey, Wednesday is Ballin' in the Basin night. You got your show to do. Well, that's okay. We're moving the show to Thursdays, so spread the word. Ballin' in the Basin will still be here, even though we've got games on Wednesdays. We're moving the show to Thursdays as Henley baseball takes a bit of priority. Want to get these games on the radio and online for you here on mybasin.com. By the way, what a great view we've had today on mybasin.com, right behind home plate. Got the GoPro hooked up to the pole. I want to give a big shout-out to Jesse Hamilton, the Henley principal here, for letting us put a little tray on his pole here, and the shop teacher at Henley for creating this little contraption, which we've been able to have our GoPro on today. So a big thanks to those guys for making today's broadcast possible, as well as both head coaches, Sean Teeters and Justin Spinner, for both of our head coaches today. I want to thank the official scorer today, Rob Sims, for keeping our stats straight and making sure I know what I'm talking about here in the booth. And also want to say thank you for joining us tonight, whether it's been today or it'll be for the rest of the Skyline Conference baseball season. Always appreciate spending a evening with you here at Roster Field on mybasin.com. Once again, the final score, Henley coming away with the win, improving to 3-0 in conference, a 5-2 win over Hidden Valley. My name is Josh Eldridge saying good night from Henley High School.